If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com. The Dick Morris Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
So listen, Dick, we have Bruce Blakeman, who's running for...
We have the next governor of
New York on right now. Hi, Bruce. How are you? This is Doug and Dick Morris.
Hey, Bruce.
Hey, Dick. Hey, Doug. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Good. Well, it's good to be on with you. John McLaughlin, the guy who I worked with to poll for Trump, has said wonderful things about you and said that you will defeat Hochul, that you will be the governor, and you will use the power as governor to counter what Mamdani is doing to New York.
So let's hear it, Bruce.
Yeah, so Kathy Hochul and Zohran Mamdani are joined at the hip. He was endorsed by Kathy Hochul in his election, and then he has now endorsed her. They have a secret deal that's not so secret to raise taxes more in New York State, which is already the most overtaxed state in the United States. We are at the bottom of economic development. People are miserable in New York under Kathy Hochul's leadership. And I'm going to be a governor that produces economic development, job creation, and create wealth for the people of the state of New York so they don't have to move out to Texas, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina to get a good job with good benefits. And, of course, I will keep Zohran Mamdani in check. I will not let him destroy the economy of the city of New York. That would have a ripple effect across the whole state. And I will stop him from defunding the police and not enforcing the law. If he doesn't enforce the law in New York City as governor, I will.
And you really have to see his candidacy as an appellate court to the election. We lost the election. Mamdani was elected mayor. But we have an alternative. The Constitution of New York vests the power in the governor of New York to oust the mayor. And Franklin Roosevelt, when he was governor in 1932, threw Jimmy Walker out of office. And as a result, the state was saved. And Blakeman is running for governor, and he would have the same power, the power to oust the Mamdani.
That would be beautiful, wouldn't it, Bruce?
Well, first of all, I would use that as a last resort. There are other ways to get him to behave and act like a mayor and not like as a zealot for un-American values.
To act like a day mayor as well as a nightmare.
He's the nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. He is a nightmare, and I would keep him in check through the budget process. We have the power of the purse as governor, and I will make sure that he enforces the law to keep our community safe and that he does not destroy the greatest economic system, capitalism, in the financial capital of the world, which is New York City. I will make sure that he does his job according to the Constitution of the state of New York, and I will use every power to make sure that he does that.
It's interesting to see Bruce Blakeman emerge as the top contender for governor on the Republican side. Originally, people were looking at Mike Lawler, the congressman from Westchester, and he's very good, but it became clear, number one, that we need his vote in the House. We can't let him become governor. And secondly, that he's a good legislator, but who knew if he had the executive experience. And then the focus shifted to Elise Stefanik, who's a congresswoman, also a conservative, but she represents a bunch of trees in the Adirondack State Park. Right. Her district has almost no people in it. It's a huge district. It's a big part of the state, but there are no human beings in it. And we need someone with a lot more experience at dealing with people. So I'm very happy that Bruce Blakeman is stepping forth here.
Where are you, Bruce? Long Island or Queens? Where are
Nassau.
You? Nassau.
Right now, I'm on the way to our emergency operations center to manage this blizzard, and I am not going to interfere at all or neglect my responsibilities as county executive. I took an oath to do that, and I'm continuing to do it. And I'm also making trips upstate all around the metropolitan area to make sure that we get our message out of economic prosperity, affordability, cheap energy, cutting tax bills, cutting energy bills in half, and having safe communities. Just as I did as Nassau County Executive. We have the safest county in America, according to U.S. News and World Report. I haven't raised taxes a penny in 4 years. In fact, I cut a $150 million tax hike of my predecessor, and we've gotten 7 bond upgrades. So we have managed our affairs in a fiscally prudent way. I will do that for the state. People in New York State are unhappy. They're miserable under Kathy Hochul. I want to make them happy again by putting New Yorkers first. And we will not spend billions of dollars on illegal migrants who've been here for 15 minutes. That's the taxpayers' money, and we're going to spend that money on New Yorkers.
And what about what I'm seeing all about the snow removal and garbage since the snow came with Mandani? And what about this, what's it called, the blue code?
Blue code, yeah.
And that you take people off the street?
Mayors and governors in New York have traditionally lost because they mishandled blizzards. John Lindsay fell victim to the same problem. And now Mamdani is having his turn. He first continued the policy of removing homeless people from the streets and not putting them in centers. And as a result, 30 people died.
I think 19.
19 people died as a result of the cold.
Believe that?
And now on the heels of that freezing weather, this huge nor'easter is coming. And let's watch how Mamdani does this without much money. And I think it's going to be a total failure. And I think it'll open the door very wide for Blakeman, who will manage the snow well in Nassau. And we'll have back-to-back
Right, that'll be a nice contrast, Bruce.
Between somebody who manages it well and somebody who doesn't.
That's why I'm heading to the Operations Center. I want to see firsthand what's going on. Then I'm going to meet with our Department of Public Works people who do a magnificent job cleaning up the snow. And, you know, Dick, you make a very good point. You know, it's the delivery of services. You can't take your eye off the ball. You got to be hands-on. And that's what I try to do, because the people want quality services. They pay a lot in taxpayer dollars to the government. The government should be able to perform in a way that people can be proud of their government rather than embarrassed by it as they were in New York City. And with the homeless people, Dick, Doug, you know that most homeless people have emotional illness, and they are not capable of making decisions when it goes 5 below zero as to whether or not they should seek shelter or not. In Nassau County, our police would take those people into custody, put them in a warm shelter where they were safe, where they had food, where they had water, where they had the ability to be safe and warm throughout this crisis. That's what I would do, because a lot of these people can't take care of themselves. And I think it's just a shame that Zoran Mandani on ceremony and said, we're not going to force anybody to do anything.
Idiot.
I think sometimes you got to help people who can't help themselves.
That's right. You know what, Bruce? I think you should have that contrast in your ads of the snow and the garbage removal and what you were doing in your county. That would be perfect to show people the contrast of you and him.
You never really understand how bad an administration is until you confront them with something like a blizzard.
Yeah.
And then you see it, and it becomes obvious to everyone. And this blizzard, I think, if it's what it's stacked up to be, almost 2 feet of snow, really may be the storm that made it impossible for Kathy Hochul and Zoran Mandani to continue.
This is great, Bruce.
I had to bail Kathy Hochul out 2.5 years ago. 2 years ago, rather, when they had the terrible blizzards in Buffalo. That was her hometown, and she didn't send the right equipment. She didn't send enough equipment. From Nassau County, I sent my plows up there to help dig out Buffalo, and we got it cleaned up in a few days. So that's the kind of people that we have working here in Nassau County. I love
that's great.
Work for us. and we treat our workers well because they do a great job.
Listen, Bruce, you call us after the show, and we're going to help you with your campaign, whatever you need, okay?
God bless. Thank you
Dick
so
Morris,
much.
he's the guy.
Thank you.
Oh, believe me, I know. He is somebody that I have admired for many, many years. He's a sage. He is someone who has his finger on the pulse of politics throughout the United States and even internationally. So it's just an honor to be with you guys today.
Well, thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce. I'm so glad we got you on.
God bless.
Okay.
Thanks.
God bless you.
Thank you, Bruce. All right.
The Dick Morris Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.